This is the third year of operation of Oceania in the Baltic Sea region. Part of our work here is carried out through expeditions either at sea, like last year and the year before that we did with the Hansa Explorer, and in this opportunity we are doing it with a convoy of vans, pickup truck, towing a rigid inflatable. And we do that to collect evidence, to collect information, videos, photographs of the bottom of the sea and different habitats. And in this way we can show to the authorities information that they can add to what they get from their own institutes of research and universities to see the state of the Baltic Sea. The objective of Oceania in the Baltic Sea is to achieve a large proportion of it as marine protected areas, well managed, and better management of the fishery resources in a way that makes the fish stocks in the Baltics to recover and be able to be exploited in a sustainable way. 12% of the waters in the Baltic are already protected. Is one of the places in the world which is, the proportion is higher if you compare it to the 2, 3, 4% that there are in other countries. But the problem in the Baltic is that many of these marine protected areas are not managed in relation to fisheries and bottom habitats. Many of these marine protected areas have been declared based on the protection of seabirds or seals, and not enough care is being taken on the bottom of the sea and fish. These fishing boats we have here are pelagic trawlers that are fishing with pelagic trawls, herring and other species, but especially herring, to be converted into fish meal. That is in essential. That is not a very efficient way of using animal proteins, because you have to use many kilos or several kilograms of herring to produce 1 kilo of salmon or 1 kilo of other species that are fed with fish food. That's one of the problems. The second is that this bottom trawling and pelagic trawling takes place in areas that are protected in many cases. Is UNESCO heritage here outside the area of Finland where we are at the moment, and still these boats are fishing in these protected areas because there is nothing that prohibits it from happening. So our attempt is, in one side, achieve that the marine protected areas that are already declared are better managed in terms of habitats and fish protection, and that the proportion of the seas that are protected goes up to 20 to 30% up to 2020 or 2030. This is what is considered by the scientists the proportion that is needed to recover this sea. At the same time, the Baltic Sea is threatened or is affected by a serious problem of eutrophication that comes from the excessive nutrients coming from the agriculture, from industrial activities, but that reach the sea through the rivers, from the coast, and produce these algae blooms that are very detrimental to marine life, and even to the recreational use of the Baltic Sea by the citizens of these countries. The human team that carries out the campaign and the expedition in the Baltic Sea is composed by citizens of the region. Basically, Oceania has in its team, in the team, people from Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Finland, Russia, Poland, and they are the people who know the area, who deal with politicians in their countries, and it's supported by a team of Spanish citizens that have been working in different parts of the world together, and we have experience in things like ROV, the use of submarine robots, of scuba diving, of taking samples, of driving the inflatables. So it's a joint combination of citizens of different parts of the world, in particular of different parts of Europe, working together in the Baltic to save the Baltic, as we do in other European seas like the Mediterranean and the South Atlantic. We use underwater robots, that ROVs, that can reach and record in high definition depths that are enough for the Baltic, like the 500 meters maximum depth that this sea has, but also with the divers, that professional divers that go up to 40 meters with compressed air, and we can use them to record in high definition, which more detailed ecosystems, the habitats that we want to record. With this information, together with what we get from dredges, Van Veen dredges or CTDs, instruments that record temperature, depth, chlorophyll, etc., a number of these chemical elements, we use those to provide them to the governments of the Baltic countries, the Baltic Sea countries, and so they can complement that with the information they already have from their national institutes of research or universities, which we already cooperate as well, and contribute from a non-governmental position to get a better management of the Baltic Sea and leading to its recovery. Sometimes being a non-governmental organization, we are in the position of combining the research and the dialogue with the administration with pressure, political pressure, to achieve the policy changes that the Baltic Sea needs for its recovery.